It's 11:47 p.m. I'm sitting in my study reading a contract that would give my son-in-law everything I built in 40 years. Here's what I did next. Hello, friends. Thanks for joining us at True Experience. If this story resonates with you, please hit that like button and subscribe to stay connected with more real-life tales of betrayal and justice. Drop a comment below telling us where you're watching from. We love hearing from our community across the USA, Canada, and around the world. Quick note, this account comes from my own experience. Names and some details have been changed for privacy. This story contains themes of family conflict and financial manipulation. My name is Robert. I'm 73 years old now. For most of my life, I worked in commercial real estate development. Started with nothing in 1975, built it piece by piece. No inheritance, no rich relatives, just work. Margaret and I married in 1974. We had one daughter, Claire, born in 1978. Margaret was a good mother. I was gone a lot in those early years. Building takes time. She understood that, or I thought she did. Claire grew up comfortable. Private schools, piano lessons, summer camps. She went to college in Boston. Met Derek there her junior year. He was studying business management. Smiled a lot. Firm handshake. Called me sir every time. They married in 2003. Claire was 25. Derek was 27. I paid for the wedding. Helped them with their first house. Derek joined a marketing firm. Did well enough. They had 2 children by 2008. My grandchildren. Margaret passed in 2015. Heart attack. Sudden. She was 64. I was 62. After the funeral, the house felt too big, too quiet, but I kept working. Work was familiar. Claire called more often after her mother died. Every Sunday. We'd talk about the grandchildren, about her week. Derek was always polite when he got on the phone, always asking how I was doing, if I needed anything. In 2017, Derek left his job, said he wanted to start his own consulting business, asked if I had any advice. I gave him some, told him to start small, build slowly. He nodded, thanked me. 6 months later, Claire called. Derek's business wasn't doing well. They'd put their savings into it. She sounded worried. Asked if I could help them through a rough patch. I wrote a check for $50,000. Told Derek to be careful, to watch his overhead. He thanked me, said he'd pay me back. He didn't. In 2018, another call. The business was growing but needed capital, equipment, office space. Derek had investors interested but needed to show stronger backing. Could I co-sign a loan? I said no. Told him I don't co-sign. He could apply on his own. Claire called me 3 days later. Said I was being unfair. Derek was family. This was his dream. Didn't I believe in him? I believed in not risking money on dreams. But she was my daughter. So I loaned him another $75,000. This time I had a lawyer draw papers. Payment plan. Interest. Derek signed it. He made 2 payments. Then nothing. When I asked about it, he said the business was still building. Cash flow was tight. He'd catch up. Claire said I was stressing him out, that I should be more supportive. I stopped asking. By 2020, Derek's business had grown. He'd hired staff, moved into a bigger office, drove a new car. Claire posted pictures on social media. Vacations, dinners. They looked happy. I never saw a payment. That same year, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Caught it early. Surgery. Recovery. I told Claire. She came to visit once in the hospital. Derek sent flowers. During recovery, I started organizing my affairs. Updated my will. Made sure everything was clear. The business, the properties, my investments. I had good lawyers. Everything was set up in a trust. Claire would inherit it all. She was my only child. I recovered, went back to work part-time. I was 70 then, starting to slow down, but not ready to stop. In 2022, Claire suggested I think about retiring. She and Derek wanted to spend more time with me. Maybe I could travel more, see the grandchildren more often. I told her I'd think about it. 2 months later, Derek called, asked if we could have dinner. Just the 2 of us. man to man. We met at a steakhouse downtown. He ordered wine, talked about the grandchildren, about Claire, about how grateful he was to be part of the family. Then he said he'd been thinking. I wasn't getting any younger. Managing my assets must be stressful. He'd been studying estate planning, investment management. He could help, take some of the burden off my shoulders. I asked him what exactly he meant. He said he could manage my portfolio, handle the day-to-day decisions. I could enjoy my retirement. He'd make sure everything was taken care of. I told him I had managers for that, people I'd worked with for 20 years. He smiled, said family was different. Family cared more. I thanked him for the offer, said I'd think about it. I didn't think about it. In early 2024, Claire called, said they were planning a big party for Margaret's and my 50th wedding anniversary. Even though Margaret was gone, they wanted to honor the milestone, celebrate our marriage, celebrate family. I said that was thoughtful. She said they'd handle everything. The venue, the catering, the guest list. All I had to do was show up. They wanted to do this for me. The party was set for June 15th. They rented a country club, invited family, old friends, business associates, 200 guests. Claire said it would be beautiful. A week before the party, Derek stopped by my house, said he wanted to go over some details, make sure the day went smoothly. He had a folder with him. He sat in my living room and pulled out papers, said he'd been working with a financial advisor. They'd put together a plan to simplify my estate, reduce tax burden, protect assets for grandchildren. He spread the documents on my coffee table. The main document was a power of attorney. Broad, immediate. It gave Derek control over my financial decisions, my properties, my business interests, everything. He said it was standard, just paperwork. It would make things easier. I asked him why I'd need this. He said at my age, anything could happen. What if I got sick again? What if I couldn't make decisions? This would protect everyone. Protect Claire. Protect the grandchildren. I picked up the papers. Read the first page. I told him I'd have my lawyer look at it. He said there wasn't much time. The financial advisor needed everything filed before the end of the month. Tax reasons. I said my lawyer works fast. Derek's smile got tight. He said he'd already had 3 lawyers review it. It was solid. Claire had seen it. She thought it was a good idea. I asked if Claire was outside. He said no. She was home with the kids. I handed the papers back. Told him I'd call him after my lawyer reviewed them. He didn't move. Just sat there holding the folder. Then he said something that made my stomach drop. He said I should remember everything he and Claire had done for me. All the visits. The care after Margaret died. The party they were throwing. Family takes care of family. I asked him to leave. He did, but he left the folder. I called my lawyer that night. Sent him photos of every page. He called me back in an hour. He said it was worse than a simple power of attorney. There were clauses that would give Derek access to my accounts immediately, control over my business decisions, the ability to sell properties, dissolve the trust, redirect assets. If I signed, I'd have nothing. I asked him what I should do. He said, don't sign anything. He'd be at the anniversary party, just in case. The party was beautiful. Claire had done a wonderful job. White tablecloths, flowers everywhere, photos of Margaret and me from 50 years ago on every table. I wore my best suit, greeted guests, hugged old friends. My grandchildren ran around in their dress clothes. Claire looked happy. Derek smiled and shook hands and played the perfect son-in-law. After dinner, Claire stood up to make a toast. She talked about love, about commitment, about family, about her mother. She cried a little. So did I. Then Derek stood up. He said he had a surprise. Something special to honor this day. He pulled out the folder. He said he and Claire had worked with advisors to create a legacy plan. Something to protect everything I'd built, to make sure it passed to the right people in the right way. He said all I needed to do was sign. Right here, in front of everyone, with family and friends as witnesses. 200 people watched. I stood up. I asked Derek if I could see the documents first. He handed them to me. I walked to the microphone, held up the papers. I said, I wanted to thank everyone for coming, for celebrating 50 years of marriage with me, for honoring Margaret's memory. Then I said I wanted to share something. Since we were all here, since Derek thought it was important to do this publicly, I read the first page out loud. The power of attorney, the complete control it gave him. Then I read the second page. The clauses about asset transfer, about my business interests, about the trust. Then the third page, the provisions that would let him sell my properties, access my accounts. I read every word, slowly, clearly. 200 people sat in complete silence. When I finished, I looked at Derek. His face was white. I said I wouldn't be signing anything tonight, or any night. I said I'd already spoken to my lawyer. I was revising my will, creating a new trust. Claire would still inherit. The grandchildren would still be provided for. But Derek would never touch a dollar of it. I thanked everyone for coming, said I hoped they enjoyed the evening. Then I walked out. Claire called me the next day, crying, screaming, said I'd humiliated her, humiliated Derek, in front of everyone. I asked her if she knew what was in those papers. She went quiet. Then she said Derek told her it was just estate planning, just paperwork. I asked if she really believed that. She hung up. I didn't hear from her for 3 months. Derek's business collapsed in August. I don't know all the details. Something about debts, bad investments, legal trouble. They had to sell their house. Claire called me in September, asked if they could borrow money. I said no. She said I was her father. I was supposed to help her. I said I'd help her, not him. I told her I'd pay for an apartment for her and the children. I'd cover their expenses. But Derek couldn't touch any of it. She said I was trying to destroy her marriage. I said Derek was doing that himself. She hung up again. In October, she called back, quieter this time, said she'd left Derek. She and the kids were staying with a friend. Could I help now? I could. I did. They've been in an apartment I own for 4 months now. The grandchildren are in good schools. Claire got a job. She's learning to manage money, learning to ask questions. Derek calls sometimes, leaves messages, says he's sorry, says he made mistakes, says he wants another chance. I don't respond. My lawyer finalized a new trust in December. Everything is protected now, set up so Claire gets access gradually, with oversight, with guidance. She'll be fine. The grandchildren will be fine. I'm 73. I've seen a lot, built a lot, lost some things, kept others. I learned that sometimes the people closest to you are the ones who will take the most. That trust is easy to ask for and hard to give back. That protecting what you've built isn't selfish. It's necessary. I still see my grandchildren every week. Claire and I are talking more, slowly rebuilding. She apologized last month, said she should have looked at those papers herself, should have asked questions. I told her she's learning now. That's what matters. I don't know if I'll ever see Derek again. Part of me hopes I don't. Part of me wonders if he ever cared at all, or if it was always about the money. Either way, I'm glad I read every word. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've experienced something similar, or if you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. And if this resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. Subscribe to True Experience for more real stories from real people. Take care of yourselves and protect what you've built.